What's up, Peach Giant fans? All right, what y'all been waiting for is here. You know, free agency is here. It's tomorrow. I'm excited. I know I said I was gonna do a video for y'all. I'm a man of my word. I'm going to do a video for y'all. What I figured, I'll wait to see how the first day of free agency goes, and then I'll do a mock draft accordingly based off of what the Giants do. I think they're going to be active in free agency. I've heard a couple of things, a couple of beat reporters talking about different things. I heard a story about the Giants are interested in Kenneth Walker. I'm like, what? Why? Why? We have Tyrone Tracy. We got Cam Scatterbo. All we need is another running back. They're supposedly going to re-sign Devin Singletary. I don't see why unless it's for veteran leadership. But if he's willing to take a pay cut and stay with the team, I'm fine with that. But they need to get a running back. I'm looking at Damon Claiborne from Wake Forest. He's a runner. He's a pass catcher. And he gives you something in return game as well. But you'll see that in the mock draft that I do. Basically, I heard another report that the Giants are interested in Fred Warner. I mean, Fred Warner's a beast, but he is almost 30 years old, I think. So you wonder how many more years he's got left in the tank. And then he's coming off an injury as well. I don't know. I mean, we need linebackers. We cut Bobby Okereke. I don't know what we're going to do with Micah McFadden. Darius Muasau, he's good, but he's undersized. So we do need help at linebacker. I heard Devin Lloyd is in the mix. I also heard the Giants are interested in Mike Evans. Look, man, you gonna see when I do my mock draft, you're gonna see what I have for the Giants and what I envision the Giants to do. Because I mean, I'm almost 50 years old. You know what I mean? So, but I'm not with signing 30 and 32-year-old players and 35-year-old players. And I think you got to get young. You got to get young and you got to get good. And you got to build that young nucleus. So that's what I'm looking at. There's talk that the Giants are going to lose Wan'Dale Robinson. He's going to go to the Titans and play with Brian Daboll. That's fine with me. And you might think I'm crazy, but my vision for the Giants is to let Wan'Dale Robinson go, let Jermaine Illuminor go, trade Darius Slayton, trade Kenneth Golston, Chauncey Golston. Believe it or not, and I would let Cordell Flott go because I think he's going to command like over $20 million a season. And you could get good corners in this draft, bro. You could get good offensive linemen deep in this draft, and they're young. You know what I mean? Like, nothing against Jermaine Illuminor, but I want a right tackle that can pass block and run block as well. Jermaine Illuminor is a better pass blocker than he is run blocker. There's just I would just go a different way. But basically, what I had the Giants doing was trading with the Browns and trading with the Chiefs, and stay in the top 10 so we could still get Sonny Styles. I really like Sonny Styles, even though he played at Ohio State, and I'm a Michigan man. But I I think that Sonny Styles will be good for the Giants, especially due to the fact that when you look at other things going on in the landscape of the NFL, you got Dallas Goedert, who's probably going to leave Philadelphia, and supposedly they're looking at Kenyon Sadiq if he's there. And Kenyon Sadiq is a beast. So if Philadelphia is going to have Kenyon Sadiq, you better draft Sonny Styles because he could keep up with Kenyon Sadiq. And he knows him from playing in the Big Ten. Well, they know each other. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Giants do. I also heard the Giants are interested in Tyler Linderbaum. I heard they're interested in Alec Pierce from the Colts. I heard they're interested in Dean, the corner from Tampa Bay. Me personally, and you might think I'm crazy, but I think Paulson Adebo is going to bounce back and have a good year. I think Javon Holland is going to bounce back and have a good year. You got to remember, these guys are coming off of injuries. Normally, when it takes about a year to come back from lower body extremity injuries. So, I'm looking for big years out of them. And you might call me crazy. I'm a homer, but I think you give Deonte Banks 6 games. I think you see how he plays in the preseason. I think you also see how he starts the season off. I'm not saying he's a starter, but I think as a reserve player and playing with some emotion and some fire, I think playing under Denard Wilson, who's going to demand a lot from him, I think, and Deonte Banks has shown, he's got all the tools. He's 6'2", he's 200 pounds, he runs a 4.4. The dude got all the tools, bro. He just got to play with some confidence. Jalen Hyatt, I've given up. I admit I've given up on the Jalen Hyatt experience. But the way that I had it worked out in the mock draft that I did, I worked it out to where the Giants had 12 draft picks and they were all in the top 150. And we were able to get 2 linebackers, 2 corners, 2 tackles, 2 guards, 2 wide receivers. Because wide receiver, you don't want to rush Malik back. And I'm going to tell you something, man. The Giants would be best served if they play Malik in the slot, especially if you lose Wan'Dale Robinson. Could you imagine Malik in the slot? Who's going to cover him? Who's going to cover him? And if you cover him with your best corner, i.e., say Philadelphia with Quinyon Mitchell, then your outside, your X and your Y receivers is going to eat all day in man-to-man coverage. You know what I mean? So me personally, I would play Malik in the slot, man. He's coming off of a gruesome injury. I would play him in the slot, bro. Especially if you lose Wan'Dale Robinson. That would be my slot guy. And I would draft Damon Claiborne, as you'll see tomorrow. But I would also draft Damon Claiborne because he gives you that third down running back, catch passes. He could run between the tackles. He could break it outside. And he also gives you something in the return game. The receivers that I got, I believe I got Deshaun Stribling from Ole Miss. And I got Caldwell. 2 wide receivers, 1.62, 1.63 and a half. I was able to get 2 corners. I got both corners from Washington, actually. I got Tacario Davis and Ephesians Prasop. 2 corners that run 4.4s, and they both over 6'2". One draft, I was able to get a safety. The other draft, I was able to get a center. The center, I was able to get Slaughter from Florida. The safety, I was able to get VJ Payne, I think. who's a developmental safety, but he's got range. He's 6'2". He runs, and he could cover from sideline to sideline. But I was able to get 2 linebackers. I was able to get Sonny Styles. And one draft, I was able to get Josiah Trotter. The other draft, I was able to get Harold Perkins from LSU. So, and I think Harold Perkins and Sonny Styles, I think those are tremendous upgrades, bro. Tremendous. And I was able to get a defensive tackle too. Yeah. I was able to get one draft, I was able to get Dominique Orange from Arizona State. And the other mock draft, I was able to get the guy from Florida State. Daryl Jackson Jr., I think his name is. But you'll see tomorrow. And I know a lot of y'all are like, yeah, but we gotta re-sign Illuminor, and we got look, man. You got a young offensive left tackle. You got a young quarterback. You got a young wide receiver. You got young running backs. Why are you trying to sign these old ass offensive linemen? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Get these dudes in here. They're young. Let them take their lumps. You got Andrew Thomas on the left side. The right side, because Jackson Dart is a right arm quarterback, he can see the pressure coming from the right side. You know what I mean? Draft these dudes and let them develop, bro. I would keep Marcus Bowe as a backup, because Marcus Bowe, to me, is one of your best players, because he could play either guard position and he could play either tackle position. And I think that's immeasurable. And I was able to get 2 tackles. I was able to get Isaiah World, and then I had a backup, and it was the kid from Texas A&M, Crown Ryder. I don't want to chop up his name, but I was able to get the tackle from Texas A&M. You know what I mean? So you say 2 linebackers, 2 corners, 2 tackles, 2 wide receivers, and like I said, 1 was a safety, 1 was a center. So, those are your 10 picks. But the Giants got to be aggressive, and they could build through this draft, bro. We don't need Kenneth Walker, and also, what's this nonsense about trading Kayvon Thibodeau? Y'all people need to stop with the nonsense, man. For real. What are you going to trade Kayvon Thibodeau for? I heard one person say, yeah, the Giants are going to trade Kayvon Thibodeau for a 4th round pick. Does that make any freaking sense? Last year, that man had 11 sacks. He was hurt this year. Okay? What was the deal about trading Kayvon Thibodeau? He's a 25-year-old pass rusher. What are you doing? And it's like one person starts this nonsense and everybody wants to run off with the same. Oh yeah, they're gonna trade Kayvon Thibodeau, and then they're gonna use that 4th round pick and draft the edge rusher. Really? How about you get rid of Chauncey Golston, who didn't play all season until the end of the year? I think he played 2 games, and you get rid of Darius Slayton, who drops passes and leads the league in drops every year, and you could re-sign Kayvon. And you re-sign Kayvon to a long-term deal. And not only that, Kayvon ain't going to break the bank, bro. Kayvon is a realist, and he's about his money. But he's also a realist first. And he knows he hasn't played like Aiden Hutchinson. He knows that. He hasn't played like a top 5 pick, but what are you going to get in return? You're going to trade Kayvon Thibodeau, and then your 3rd edge rusher is going to be Tamon Fox. Your 3rd edge rusher is going to be Chauncey Golston if you keep him. Really? You don't get better by trading your young players, man. Now, granted, some of y'all are going to say, oh, yeah, you're going to let Cordell Flott go. No, I'm going to let Cordell Flott go because I feel like you're going to get priced out for Cordell Flott. I don't feel like you're going to be able to get Cordell Flott for 16, 17 million. And then you also got to look at it as if you pay him 16 to 17 million, you're basically saying next year he's going to, not this year, but next year, 2027, he's going to be your number one corner because you got Paulson Adebo for 2 years. He's going to be up for a new deal at the end of this year. So whether the Giants cut him or keep him. So you say if you re-sign Flott is going to be your number one corner in 2027. I don't know if I want Cordell Flott as my number one receiver. I think the Giants were in a good situation when they drafted Drew Phillips because Cordell Flott was playing in the slot and he was also playing on the boundary, but he was also playing in the slot. Then they drafted Andrew Phillips and that bumped Cordell Flott to the boundary. But I don't like that, man. I don't like, paying two corners almost $40 million. I don't like that. So I think they need to get younger at corner and better. And I think they could get better in this draft, especially if you get to Takario Davis and Ephesian Price-Op. Come on, those they are lethal corners, and they played a lot of man-to-man at Washington, bro. You want guys that have played man-to-man. You know what I mean? Because that's what they're going to have to do in the NFL. They're going to have to be physical at the line of scrimmage, jam them, and then they got to have the speed to keep up with them. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking at. But, hopefully, and now that DJ Moore got traded, I believe, to Buffalo, because supposedly it was going to be DJ Moore for Kayvon. Then I heard some nonsense about Edmonds from Chicago for Kayvon. What are you talking about? For that, I'll bring back Bobby Okereke and hope he could do better with a new defensive coordinator. No, man, come on, stop the cap, man. You don't need to trade Kayvon Thibodeau. Everybody's sitting there talking about, we got Abdul Carter. What happens if Abdul Carter gets hurt? What happens if Brian Burns gets hurt? There was a lot of times where Brian Burns came out the game and came back because there was nobody else and played hurt. Come on, bro. You don't want to do that, man. You don't want to trade Kayvon and then you thin. Okay, so you pay him $15 million. The salary cap is over $300 million. And Jackson Dart is still on a rookie deal. What are you talking about? Malik isn't on his 5th-year option. Like, come on. What are we talking about here? Y'all people are bugging, bro. Y'all people are bugging. And y'all call yourself Giant fans. Y'all really need to check the stats, man, and watch college football, because a lot of y'all don't watch college football. And y'all talk about, we need to do this, we need to do that. I watch college football, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know these players. I've seen them play, and these is guys that I think would fit good with the Giants. Hopefully they'll do it. But, we'll see what happens in free agency, like I said, tomorrow. And then I'll do a mock draft tomorrow as well. And then we'll see what direction we're moving in. But hopefully no Kenneth Walker. Hopefully no Alec Pierce. Hopefully no Mike Evans. Hopefully no Fred Warner. I mean, Fred's a beast, man. Fred's a beast. It's just he's coming off of an injury too. I don't know, man. It's better than what we got, because right now, we cut Bobby Okereke. Now, do we bring him back on a cheaper deal? I don't know. Does he take a cheaper deal? I don't know. But I heard the Giants are also looking at Devin Lloyd. I just want to get younger, bro. I just want to get younger and let this team grow as a young team under Jackson Dart, because I feel that's the direction you need to move in. You know what I mean? And we can't keep sitting there with these old cats and retreads. You know, you trade Chauncey Golston, you trade Darius Slayton, you cut Graham Gano, you restructure Singletary, which it looks like they're gonna do. You restructure Andrew Thomas, Brian Burns, and Dex. Come on, man. You open up like $40 million, $50 million. Come on. And like I said, you unfortunately you let the Luminor go, you let Wandale Robinson go, you let Cordell Flott go, and most likely Greg Van Roten's gonna retire, and that's it. And you get young players in here, man, and you let them gel and learn together, take their lumps and bumps together, and shoot, man, next season, yo, the Giants will be unstoppable, bro. So, you know, but I'll show y'all my plan tomorrow, and you know, y'all have a good night, and we'll see what free agency looks like, and peace, and you know, Godspeed. Everybody stay safe out there. I love y'all, and see y'all tomorrow. All right, later.